If your matches are not turning into real life dates, or if your dates stall before commitment, you don't need more swipes. You need a better strategy. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the top dating statistics that you need to know in 2025 so you can actually attract a husband, not a situationship. I'm going to show you small tweaks that you can make on your profile so you actually funnel high quality men into conversations off the app. I'm Rulla Alani, and I have helped hundreds of women go from feeling stuck and frustrated to getting real life results where they are securely partnered. So if you are anything like many of the women that I've coached, you're probably wondering, do dating apps even work? Are people using them? The answer is yes. According to a survey that was conducted earlier this year among 2,000 American adults, 39% of them report using an online dating app, and 7% of them are still using them today. So the question isn't whether or not dating apps are being used, it's if they're being used efficiently and actually getting people results. One of the reasons that dating apps may feel broken is the discrepancy in demographics. So data shows that users are more likely to be men than women. Men make up about 57% of active users, while women only make up 38% of active users. Another key factor that can explain why dating apps feel broken is that retention is extremely low. After the first day of installation, dating apps face a huge crash in retention. For the past 5 years, retention has always been below 5%. Retention actually peaked in the years 2020 to 2021, likely because of the shutdown and because all of us were at home, feeling bored, feeling lonely, so many individuals were turning to dating apps. Last year in 2024, the retention was only 3.3%. This data tells us that dating apps are currently falling behind because of two key reasons. The first one is demographics. Because there are a larger amount of men than women on these dating apps, men can feel like their options are a little bit limited because there aren't that many women on these apps relative to men. Second, people are not committing to dating apps for the long haul. It seems like after they install the apps, within a few days, and especially after a few weeks, people just stop signing back in. They realize that dating apps actually require time and effort, and they just simply give up. Now let's get into swiping and matching behavior. So studies have found that there are huge gender dynamics when it comes to initiating matches and conversations. A study titled Aspirational Pursuit of Mates in Online Dating Markets found that women are very selective with the messages that they receive. Their average reply rate is less than 20%. Additionally, swiping habits are significantly skewed. Men swipe right on an average of 50 to 70% of profiles, while women only swipe right on 5 to 14% of profiles. This tells us that men are actually doing their part when it comes to online dating. They're initiating messages, they're swiping on women, so the true bottleneck is not men, it's actually women. The next question is, what actually works? What allows matches and conversations to actually convert into real life dates? Well, it depends on the app. Hinge has found that in 2024, likes on text prompts were 47% more likely to lead to a date than likes on photos. They also found that many people struggle with sending a follow-up message even after a great first date. This is because they didn't want to come off too strong or seem desperate. Because of this issue, Hinge has actually come up with a helpful formula to help its users initiate a message after a first date. The follow-through formula is all about helping individuals secure that second date, and it has 3 key components: timing, enthusiasm, and intent. This is because Hinge found that 75% of users expect a follow-up message either the same day or next day after a first date. 44% of Hinge daters said that the most attractive part of the follow-up message was expressing general enthusiasm or interest in the other person. And 47% of Hinge users prefer their match to express interest in meeting again, even if they don't lock in specific details like time or place. This tells us two really important things. The first one is that copy is actually more important than pictures. I know this is hard to digest because a lot of us women think that it's all about the pictures. As long as we look beautiful and radiant, men are going to message us, but that's simply not true. If our profile is not giving men the ability to get to know us a little bit, to ask us a certain question, to figure out what our interests are, then they might actually swipe right, but they're not necessarily going to initiate a conversation. The second thing is that following up is so important, and timing plays a really key role here. If you go on a good, successful first date, then message the other person. There's nothing to be shy about. All of us are seeking that second date, even if we feel a little bit nervous. Now you might be wondering which dating app is best for high quality matches. And the data tells us that it really depends on your age and demographic. When it comes to our age, the data shows that as people get older, they tend to be downloading dating apps specifically for serious long-term relationships. However, women are more likely to have this intent than men. 46% of women report using dating apps for serious relationships compared to only 36% of men. When it comes to the reason why people download dating apps, it also depends on the platform. Hinge is preferred among 25 to 45-year-olds, especially because of their relationship-first branding. Bumble is preferred by those who prefer female control because females are the one who initiate conversations. And then Match and eHarmony are best for older individuals seeking marriage. This data tells us that the platform that we pick matters. If you are 45 looking for marriage, you are going to be selecting apps much differently than a college student who just wants something casual. So do dating apps actually lead to relationships or marriage? The data shows that many of them do. More than 4 in 10 adults who have ever used an online dating site report that they have at some time been in a committed relationship with someone they met through the app. Nearly half of 30 to 49-year-old users report this experience. Another study conducted by Stanford found that online meeting is now the #1 way that couples meet, even more so than meeting through friends and family. Pew Research actually confirms this. 10% of partnered adults have met through a dating website or app. This tells us that dating apps are not hopeless. They can actually get us results if we stop using them passively and we start using them intentionally. This brings me to my next point. How can we use dating apps intentionally in 2025? First, we must understand what makes people match with us and actually initiate a conversation. According to a study, they found that sharing family values is the #1 reason that people want to connect, followed by sharing political beliefs, and then religious beliefs, and then hobbies and interests. As you can see by this chart, age, education, and money are actually not as important as people think. So based on all of the information that I have shared with you, let's get into strategy. #1, our profile sparks more replies than our photos. So this means that you want to spend just as much time curating your profile as you do selecting pictures. Write down things about yourself that are interesting, that are intriguing, things that are actually going to garner questions, and things that make people want to know more about you. Second, filter by intention, not by vibes. So if there is a man who looks attractive and shares similar hobbies, but he clearly has on his profile that he only wants casual hookups and you are seeking marriage, do not swipe right. We only want to swipe right on individuals who share our same values, okay? So really be intentional with this. It's better to only have several high quality matches over dozens of random ones. Third, move off of the app fast. If there is a man that you're having an amazing conversation with on the dating app and he requests your phone number, don't just wait days and weeks to send it over. Give him your phone number. You want to really be intentional about moving the right conversations off the app and keep the momentum going. Don't keep people hanging for more than 24 hours because this just simply signals that you're not interested, and timing is really important when it comes to online dating. You don't want to be contributing to time being wasted. If you are on an app and you actually have a goal of partnering up, then show that. Show that with your responses, show that with your enthusiasm, show that with your ability to maintain a conversation and to actually reply in a timely manner. Number 4 is to track your results. I know this sounds silly, but you should actually be taking a note of your profile and if it's getting you the results that you want. So something simple that you can do is just screenshot your profile and wait a month and see how many matches and conversations you are getting. If you're not getting a lot, you can tweak it and use the same process until you feel like it's actually getting you the results you want. At the end of the day, dating is just like any other thing we set out to do. And if we aren't actually tracking what pictures and prompts are actually triggering certain replies, then we are actually just being passive users and we're not using the app strategically. Always feel free to switch up your pictures or your profile based on the responses that you're getting. Number 5 is to take note of your funnel. I know this sounds silly, but yes, dating is a funnel at the end of the day, especially online dating. So your funnel looks like this. There's matching, replying, dating, and then second dates. So if you actually keep track of your funnel, you can figure out which step is bringing the most resistance or friction. Dating is a process. It's completely natural if there's one step in that process that is a little bit more problematic than the others. So take note of this and then you can figure out what to focus on. If you're really struggling with the second date mark, that means that you're going wrong somewhere in those first dates. So you can focus on improving your communication skills, how you show up, and more of that face-to-face interaction. Versus if you are simply having trouble getting matches, then it's probably an issue with your dating profile or your pictures. Number 6 is to use multiple dating platforms if marriage is your end goal. This allows you to broaden your horizons and to get the best of both worlds. So if you are on Match.com, you can also go on eHarmony, and that allows you to actually widen the amount of people that you're having access to and then only choosing the best of the bundle. If you've made it this far into the video, then you're clearly serious about getting results. And I just want you to know that I have helped so many women just like you find success with online dating. And I have a certain system that I use to create attractive profiles that actually magnetize men who are marriage minded. It's the same system that I use to attract my now husband. So check out the first link in the description. It's my free Magnetic Profile Masterclass, and it is going to help you curate an amazing profile that actually attracts the men that you desire. I will see you in my next video where I share top online dating distractions to avoid if you want to stay focused on your goal, okay? So I will see you there. Thank you so much for watching this video. I always appreciate your time, your energy. I love you guys. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.